Hey everyone, in the previous two videos for Jira Wiki Markup to HTML conversion, we saw how to convert bold text and how to convert italic text. In this video, we are going to look at how to convert an underlined text. So here I've written something in the box window and let's make it underlined by clicking Ctrl plus U. Let's save this and see if we have received this in our ServiceNow story as well. Yeah, we did receive it and it is prefixed with a plus and it is again the text is ending with a plus. So we need to do some formatting over there. This is our business rule which we created in our first video. Let's change the name since we are doing one at a time for now. In the end, we are going to create a video to do everything at once and together. So let's change this name and create a similar function in the script include. And let me copy the text from one of the previous functions so as to save some time. Now, since our text is surrounded by a plus character, let's do the same thing over here. So this makes sure that the text is surrounded by plus characters like in the beginning and towards the end. And as I've already explained, this part refers to the actual text which is being converted to an underlined text. Now, when we do underline in HTML, we usually use a tag called U. And we are going to do the same thing over here. And as I've already explained, $1 here refers to the text which is being underlined. So this is the text which will appear in our Jira story as the underlined text. Now let's save this and see if it works. And I've written this text over here. Let's save this and see if I'm able to receive this in the ServiceNow instance. No, I did not. What went wrong? Let's try to remove the space for now. Save it. Again, it did not work. So maybe we are missing something over here. And this is the beauty of developing something from the scratch. Sometimes things just doesn't work as expected. So when we were looking at the bold format, it was quite easy. We just had to, add stars, add the text, and then close it with the star, and it worked. When we did italic, we just had to replace the star with underscore, and it again worked. Now, when we are doing underline, we're dealing with the plus character, which is a very, very common character, and it could sometimes, interfere with some kind of formatting that happens in the backend. So now, since this is not working by just replacing the character, we need to take an extra step over here. We need to decode certain HTML entities which might be interfering with the conversion here. So let me create a function from the scratch, a new function. I'm going to call my function as format Jira HTML. And this function will do the same task what was done by the previous functions, but I'm just going to add one extra step of decoding certain HTML entities as well. So let's do it. This is my function. And again, I'm going to pass the parameter Jira text. Now here again in the Jira text, I am going to decode those entities and save back to this particular variable. This dot decode HTML entities. Let's give this name to our function and let's pass the text we are receiving from Jira over here. And again, to Jira text, we are going to, let's say, call the specified functionality. What we want to do here, we want to format the underline part. So we are going to call that format underline function. And here I'm going to pass the decoded Jira text. And in the end, I'm simply going to return the Jira text. Fine. So this function is ready, but partially, not completely, because I still need to add that definition of this function, decode HTML entities. Okay, so let's do it right away. If you're not aware why I'm using this dot, this is because these are the functions within the same script include, and I have to use this dot function name. And it is also a very important question from interview perspective. Let's decode our HTML entities over here. And here is the text. Let's add double T over here. Just want to give a different name. Okay. Now the first part would be to convert the numeric and the named entities. What do I mean when I say numeric or the named entities? So if I explain it in this way, let's say we have and 34 hash, sorry, 3%, yeah. So this is actually double quotes when we talk about. If I, let's say, go to google.com and try to explain it over here, and hash 34, so it comes down to double quotes HTML. So this is again a numeric entity which we are dealing with here. So I'm going to write a script to convert that, and named entities also, like we use %LT for less than, %GT for greater than. Okay, so let's write that script. And why I'm writing this script is because I want to decode all the HTML entities, not just one by one, because HTML is vast and I cannot simply keep on writing functions again and again and again just to handle small details. So I'm writing all at once so that I cover up everything with this one script. So Jira text dot replace /& hash, then again opening brace, closing brace, \d plus, then here I have semicolon /g. Okay, now I would like to call my function over here match, then the decoded object string dot from cal code, and then I'm going to do the replace part over here, &, yeah, here it is. So let me quickly do it for everything. Okay, so I am done here. I've done the conversion for most of the commonly used entities over here, named entities and the numeric entities. Let's save this. Now, to be able to understand the format here, usually the named entities or the numeric entities start with an %, and if it is a numeric entity, the ampersand is followed by a hash and then the number. For example, we just saw for double quotes it is 34. So this D refers to the digit over here, and as I already mentioned, G refers to any number of matches within the whole text. So now this part is saved. So while formatting, I'm first decoding the HTML entities, and then I'm doing whatever the function I need to perform, whether it is underlined, bold, or italic. Okay, so let's call this function now within our business rule instead of the direct function, which simply focus on underline rather than decoding the entities first and then doing the conversion. So let's save this. And go to Jira. And I'm going to append this. Save. Let's see if this is returned. Yeah. So now we are able to underline our text. Let's try something else as well. Save. Yep. So our text is getting underlined. So, and this is how we can do that. So sometimes we need to do the decoding, and then we need to come to the conclusion of, making sure that everything is already decoded. Now we just need to focus on our task at hand. For example, underline in this case. Thank you so much for watching.